There is a filter pitcher in your refrigerator door, bought for one reason. Whatever comes out of the tap, you wanted something between it and your family. We went through the certification standards themselves, federal seizure records, and a lawsuit filed in California. Here is the fact that runs through this entire video. The most widely sold filter cartridge in America carries no certification for lead removal, and the cartridge that does carry it sits on the same shelf from the same brand in a different colored box for a few dollars more. Federal officers seized nearly 4,000 filters at one seaport carrying counterfeit certification logos, and when those were tested, they failed to remove lead. We are counting down 10 filters to avoid, explaining the two numbers that decide every one of these cases, and finishing with 3 that actually carry the certification. Number 10, the Brita Standard filter. Number 9, the Brita Stream. The Standard is the white cartridge, model OB3. It costs $6 to $8. It is the most widely retailed filter cartridge in the country, and the entry-level pitcher box sitting on the shelf at Target or Walmart almost always ships with one inside. Its certification is NSF, ANSI 42. Everything in this video turns on what that number covers and what the next one covers, so both get explained once here. Standard 42 addresses aesthetics, chlorine taste, odor, particulates you can see or that cloud the water. A filter holding 42 has been tested properly by an accredited body, and it does a real job on the things your nose and tongue notice. Standard 53 addresses contaminants with documented health effects. Lead sits inside 53, along with certain volatile organic compounds, cysts, chromium, 6, and asbestos. One more detail decides more cases than either number alone. Certification under 53 is claim-specific rather than blanket. A filter certified to 53 for cysts has not thereby been certified for lead. The contaminants covered are named individually on the listing, and lead has to appear there by name. The Brita Standard holds 42. It is not certified for lead reduction, and independent testing indicates it does not meaningfully reduce lead even without the certification. The Stream filter sits in the same position. None of that makes it a bad product. It was designed for chlorine taste, it was certified for chlorine taste, and it delivers chlorine taste reduction at a low price. The gap opens somewhere else entirely, in the 4 decades of brand recognition that made Brita a synonym for filtered water in American kitchens. People reach for the box because the name means clean, and the box never claimed what the name implies. Its competitor sells the same arrangement, and a lawsuit filed in California is now asking a court what a shopper is entitled to assume. Number 8, PUR Basic. Number 7, the assumption itself. PUR runs the identical structure. The basic filters cover taste and odor. The plus line is where lead certification lives. 2 cartridges, 1 brand, similar packaging, adjacent hooks on the same shelf. So the 2 largest names in American water filtration both sell a cheap cartridge and a certified cartridge, and both rely on the shopper reading the small print to tell them apart. Number 7 is what happens when that shopper does not. A proposed class action was filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court against the maker of Brita, alleging that deceptive advertising led customers to believe the products filter contaminants, including arsenic, nitrate, hexavalent chromium, and certain PFAS. The named plaintiff, a Los Angeles County resident, says he bought a Brita pitcher and standard filter for about $15 in 2022 after reading the product label. Clorox, which owns Brita, said it was still reviewing the complaint and looked forward to defending itself vigorously. The company's statement is worth hearing in full because it is accurate. Brita takes the transparency of its filtration options seriously. The products include a standard filtration option that improves taste and odor and is certified to reduce identified contaminants as communicated. For consumers looking for filters certified to reduce PFOS or PFOA, the Brita Elite Pour-Through and the Brita Hub are both certified for those, as well as lead and other identified contaminants. Every sentence there checks out against the certification listings, which locates the dispute precisely. The case is not about whether a laboratory measured something incorrectly. It is about the distance between what a certification document states and what a person standing in an aisle concludes from a familiar blue box. A court will decide that one. Meanwhile, there is an entire category of filters most Americans have never checked at all, and it dispenses through a door they open 20 times a day. Number 6. Refrigerator filters. Number 5. Faucet mounts. Refrigerator filters get replaced on a schedule the appliance itself demands, cost up to $50, and almost nobody looks at what they are certified for. NSF, ANSI 42 is the most common certification on refrigerator and pitcher filters. Amazon requires it. Every refrigerator water filter listed on the site must be certified to 42 by an accredited body such as NSF, IAPMO, or the Water Quality Association. So a fridge filter can satisfy the largest marketplace in the world and carry no LEED certification whatsoever. Something else works against you at that door. Water arriving through a dispenser feels processed in a way tap water does not. It comes out cold, it comes out of a machine, and the psychology of that does more work than the cartridge does. Faucet mounts occupy a similar position at number 5. Most carry certification for chlorine and taste rather than lead, though certain PUR faucet models genuinely do hold lead certification. Where those exist, the trade-off is physical. Flow rate and cartridge capacity are limited compared with a pitcher or an under-sink system because a filter that fits on a faucet spout has very little room for media. There is a check that settles every case in this video, and it takes about 30 seconds. NSF, the WQA Gold Seal program, and IAPMO each maintain a free public database listing every product they certify, the standard it meets, and the exact contaminants claimed. Search your model number. Find the entry. Look at whether standard 53 appears and whether lead is named under it. An empty column is the answer. That works for the products that were submitted for certification at all. The next two entries never were, and one of them tells you so in language most people misread completely. Number 4 is a phrase rather than a product, tested to NSF standards. Those 4 words appear on packaging across this entire category, and they mean the manufacturer ran a test. NSF was not involved. Nobody independent verified the result. No facility was inspected. Actual certification works differently. The product goes to an accredited laboratory and is tested against the standard. The manufacturing plant is inspected. The product is retested periodically, and the listing can be pulled if it stops complying. One audit of Amazon put numbers on the gap. Of the top 590 water filter products listed on the marketplace, only 102 cited an NSF standard that actually matched the filtering claims they were making. Number 3 is Berkey, and this one deserves care because the people who own these systems tend to love them. Berkey publishes laboratory results showing lead reduction above 99.9%. Independent testing by reviewers has confirmed strong lead reduction in these systems. The gravity units are well built and widely praised. They are not certified to NSF, ANSI 53. State clearly what that does and does not mean. A missing certification is not evidence. A filter fails. It means no accredited third party has verified that particular claim, and the numbers you are relying on came from testing the company itself commissioned. Some buyers find that acceptable. Others want the arrangement where an outside body inspects the plant and can revoke the listing. Both positions are defensible, and knowing which one you hold is the point. That covers filters performing exactly as certified, and filters performing as advertised without certification. The next category involves the certification mark itself being printed by the counterfeiter, and federal officers have been pulling those out of shipping containers by the thousand. Number 2. Counterfeit filters. Customs and Border Protection officers at the Los Angeles and Long Beach seaport seized 3,940 water filters carrying counterfeit NSF logos printed directly on the products. The shipment was mixed ocean freight arriving from China, and import specialists confirmed the filters bore unauthorized certification marks. Had they been genuine, the retail value would have run near $150,000. A separate seizure at the same port covered more than 5,200 additional units. When those counterfeit filters were tested, they failed to remove lead and other dangerous chemicals from water. One sentence in the federal announcement explains why no household would ever catch this. The water may look, smell, or taste fine. Enforcement has moved past customs. Amazon's Counterfeit Crimes Unit filed a joint lawsuit with General Electric and GE Appliances against 16 defendants in the Western District of Washington over counterfeit GE-branded water filters sold through the marketplace. Officials involved have described fake filters circulating in the millions. Appliance manufacturers publish their own guidance on spotting them, and the tells are physical. Weight comes first. Counterfeits are noticeably lighter than genuine filters because there is less filtration media inside the housing. Compare a new filter against the old one you just pulled out. Then the packaging. Low quality or pixelated printing, spelling errors, missing certification marks, or symbols that look subtly wrong. Manufacturers have added countermeasures worth knowing about. GE's XWFE filter carries an RFID chip that matches one in the refrigerator, and without it, the dispenser will not run. LG uses a QR code along with a hidden logo that appears on the label under a flashlight. The certification mark stopped functioning as proof the day it became something a print shop could reproduce. There is one more failure left, and it happens to genuine filters that were certified correctly. Number 1 is the filter you already own, left in past its capacity. 2 figures from a meta-analysis of lead reduction research make the case better than any argument could. Across field studies, 99% of NSF 53 certified filters reduced lead to the 10 microgram benchmark or below, 1,512 out of 1,528. Across laboratory studies that tested filters beyond their certified capacity, that figure dropped to 61%, 91 out of 150. Same standard, same certified products. The variable is how long they had been in service. Certification covers performance up to a stated capacity, expressed in gallons or months, whichever arrives first. Brita Elite carries up to 6 months or 120 gallons. Most certified pitcher filters in this category fall somewhere between 40 and 120 gallons. What happens in actual kitchens is that nobody replaces on schedule. The pitcher keeps filling, the water keeps tasting fine, the indicator light gets ignored for a few weeks and then a few months, and a cartridge rated for 4 months does 8. Lead makes this worse than any other contaminant for a specific reason. Chlorine breakthrough announces itself. The water starts tasting like a swimming pool again, and people notice within days and swap the filter. Lead breakthrough produces no signal whatsoever. No taste, no smell, no color, no change in flow. The filter looks identical on the day it stops working and every day afterward. A certified filter operated beyond its capacity has become an uncertified filter, sitting in the same refrigerator door, dispensing water that appears exactly as it did the week before. So the correct filter, bought for the right reason, still needs one thing from you. 3 products carry the certification this video has been describing, and all 3 can be verified before you buy. 3 filters carry NSF ANSI 53 certification with lead named on the listing. Every one of them can be checked on a public database before you spend $1. Best option number 3, PUR Plus. This is the line where PUR's lead certification lives, available in pitchers and in certain faucet mount models. If you want filtration at the tap rather than in a pitcher, the faucet units are among the few in that format holding lead certification. The trade-off on those specifically: limited flow rate and limited cartridge capacity, which comes with the physical constraints of anything mounted on a spout. Best option number 2, zero water. Certified to NSF 53 for lead, and independent testing has measured complete lead reduction in these pitchers. The system uses a 5-stage cartridge and includes a meter for total dissolved solids, which gives you an actual reading rather than a light. The trade-offs here are real and worth stating before anyone buys one. Those cartridges exhaust faster than any competitor. Replacement cost per gallon is the highest among mainstream pitchers, and the flow is slow. 5-year ownership cost lands well above the alternatives. Best option number 1, the Brita Elite Filter, the blue cartridge, model OB6, certified to NSF, ANSI 42, 53, and 401 with lead and microplastics named. Independent testing by Consumer Reports and Wirecutter measured lead reduction from 170 micrograms per liter down to under 1. Rated for up to 6 months or 120 gallons, under $30 a cartridge. It takes the top position for a specific reason. This is the cheapest certified lead reduction available in America, and it fits the same pitcher, on the same shelf, in the same store as the uncertified cartridge from the same brand. Anyone who owns a Brita pitcher already has the hardware. One gap worth naming: no Brita cartridge holds PFAS, specific certification. If PFAS or fluoride matter to you, clearly filtered is worth a look, with a caveat stated honestly. That pitcher carries NSF 42 and 372 rather than 53. Its lead figure, 99.34% reduction at 152 parts per billion, comes from an accredited independent laboratory using methodology equivalent to the standard. Annual filter cost runs several times higher than Brita Elite. Before you close this, the one rule worth keeping: it replaces everything in this video. Buy the standard number with the contaminant named, rather than the brand. The habit that enforces it takes 30 seconds and costs nothing. Search your filter's model number on the NSF, WQA Gold Seal or IAPMO database. Find the listing. Look for Standard 53 and check that lead appears by name underneath it. An empty column is your answer, and it is a more reliable answer than anything printed on the packaging. Learn to read 3 phrases while you are there. NSF, certified, with no number attached tells you almost nothing, because the cheapest certification to earn is the one covering taste. Tested to NSF standards means the seller ran the test. WQA, Gold Seal, and IAPMO certifications carry equal weight because both bodies test to the same NSF, ANSI standards under the same accreditation. Then protect the certification you paid for. Set a recurring reminder on your phone rather than trusting an indicator light, and treat the gallon figure as the real limit. A filter that gets replaced on schedule is doing what the laboratory verified. One that does not is an unknown. Two things belong here for proportion, because this video should not leave anyone frightened of their kitchen tap. For most households, the largest source of lead in drinking water is the service line and the old solder in the plumbing rather than anything a pitcher addresses. Millions of lead service lines remain in the ground across this country, and replacing them is a public works problem measured in decades. A certified filter is the piece you can control this week for about the price of a coffee each month. And two habits cost nothing at all. Run the cold tap for a few seconds before filling anything for drinking or cooking, and never draw cooking water from the hot side. If somebody you know keeps a pitcher in the fridge door, send them this.